James. Welcome to the show. Pleasure having you
Hey,
on.
thank you.
Can we start off with you just going a little bit into your background and bringing us up to speed on what you're currently doing?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I guess after years of intense bullying when I was a younger kid and teen, had led me to some coaches get some coaching to help myself, my confidence, self-esteem, you name it. Loved it so much, loved being coached so much that I thought maybe I'd like to do this. So took course after training, after certification. Eventually became a master trainer apprentice as well of coaches and some other amazing tools. Keep learning tools and gaining more information and techniques, and even working on myself. It's a journey, right? So after years and years of that, after about 14 years in the corporate world, companies like IBM, Novell, and Lenovo, started my business. And I've had about 8 businesses so far ever since I was 11 years old. I've been a serial entrepreneur as well, and had a lawn mowing and lawn care business and snow removal business when I was 10 and a half, 11 years old. It was funny because I was pushing the snowblower. The bars in it to grab was like higher than I was. I was this little kid pushing this big snowblower. So it was interesting. But I just got into coaching, got into learning, combined the coaching, my love of learning with entrepreneurship, and a lot of things I was good at and the things I had learned and overcome. And so really putting a bunch of different things together to my unique 3-pillar system, basically. And it's helping impact-driven entrepreneurs take back their time, make more money, and of course have a bigger impact using this new system with all the many years, 25 years of helping people, helping businesses succeed, helping individuals succeed, and not just looking at strategy or systems, and that's important too, but also like what's going on in here. Because if you don't like the outside, you need to work on, there's something in here you need to work on, and something needs to shift. So combining a really cool methodology that makes me very unique and different than a lot of other business coaches who will tell you to hustle, and meanwhile you're burning yourself out, killing yourself, or doing what you hate, and hating your business perhaps. Let's actually have you take back your time and make more money and have more fulfillment with more impact. So that's in the gist of what I do. It's been a life's journey through bullying, through obesity, through health issues, and not that we're ever done or perfect, but come a long way. It's been an amazing journey. I'm no longer obese either. Pretty fit dude now. But now I help others too, not necessarily with fitness, but again, I've combined all these interesting things and all the things I've learned to help people with their business so they can help others.
Dive in a little bit into your methodology. Start with the three pillars.
I'll list the 3 pillars because it's an interesting point. And so the one big pillar is taking back your time. It's work-life balance, or harmony, as I say, because there's no balance. Today I'm going to work a half day. Tuesday and Wednesday I worked a lot of hours. So it's about the harmony versus like a balance per se. Some weeks I work very intensely. Some weeks I am off or traveling in Southeast Asia or the Caribbean or South America or wherever. Anyway, back to the point. Basically, the first one is basically freedom-based growth, like having your business grow almost on autopilot and really doing an 80-20 analysis of your business in terms of what the Pareto's principle, right? What is the 20% that you do that gets you 80% of the results, and thinking, why am I doing this 80%, all the stuff that only gets me 20% of results? And I can bet you a lot of that stuff you don't love anyways, and it should be done by AI, automation, systems, delegated to a VA. And before you say I can't afford it, I don't have enough work for the VA, trust me, I will bet my reputation I can find enough work for a VA, even quarter-time or part-time. Plus, it doesn't have to cost a lot. You can find a VA as low as $3, $5, $8, $10 and up, depending how specialized you need them to get and how trained you need them to be, unless you want to train them. So it's really looking at 80-20 your business, and then maybe even 80-20ing it again. So what is the 4%, if I'm doing my math right, what is the 4% that you do that you love, that makes you the most money and has the most impact, and then the 96%, let's get that done by software, by systems, by people, by teams, even a small team of one, or again, half-time hours or quarter-time hours as well. So that's pillar 1. Is basically freedom-based growth. The second pillar is reclaiming your time and taking back your time. That is a big part of it. And again, like I said, looking at systematizing things, looking at what shouldn't even be done. What are you doing that shouldn't even be done at all, even by a virtual assistant? What is not working? What shouldn't be done? What are you still doing for hopes that maybe someday it'll work, unless there's a very likely chance it will start working. Why are you doing certain things? Or why are you doing things that don't matter? Well, most people do things these little things that don't matter because they have little check marks. They can, off the check mark off the list type thing. Because it feels good. We have little dopamine hits. We check things off our list. However, if you get 10 little things done that don't matter, you get a dopamine hit, you feel great. However, you may not be making any money. You may not serve any clients. You may not help any people. Versus that one thing, maybe it's one thing, only one thing or two things you get done today that are actually important, that actually make an impact, that actually make a difference. That is better than getting 5 or 10 or 20 teeny little things that don't matter, like fiddling quickly with your website. That can be done by a virtual assistant, or tweaking this thing, or correcting your packages again, or little non-important things. I also have people as well look at sitting for 20, 30 minutes, or even 60 minutes per day, and just thinking about their thinking. Like, what are you thinking that is maybe not true? What are you banging your head against the wall about, that when you're in this hamster wheel, if you will, or on the treadmill, what are you doing that maybe, that should stop, or maybe that's not useful anymore? Or what would you like to do? What would you like to do differently? What would be more aligned? Or are you attracting the right clients? Are you working with the right clients? Do you love the clients you work with? Or could there be better ones for you that would pay you more, value you more, be less of a pain in the butt, or light you up more of a pleasure to work with? Could they go out and do bigger, better things in the world? So that's the second figure. It's the freedom aspect. And I know there's a lot of hustle culture out there. Work. You can sleep when you're dead. All this nonsense. Work. Outwork everyone. Work harder than anyone. Well, you can work harder than anyone and everyone, and you can burn yourself out while doing all the wrong things. You won't get ahead of people. Just because you're working harder or longer or more than other people, that doesn't guarantee success. It guarantees burnout and probably hating what you do, unless all you want to do is be in the basement and grind and make every last penny you can and not live a life. Maybe, but those people are not for me. Right? It looks at, and there's a lot of scientific research behind this too. When you rest a lot. You're a lot more creative, a lot more productive. When you think about your thinking, even Warren Buffett takes time to think and personal development. Warren Buffett, of course, one of the founders of Berkshire Hathaway, billionaire, multi-billionaire, I think. But he says the best investment is not funds or stocks or ETFs. It is in yourself, and he's right. So we look at, okay, what are the investments in you need to make in your free time, in your taking time off, and then the third big pillar is mindset. Right, looking at self-limiting beliefs. Well, part of me thinks this, but part of me thinks that. Part of me wants to be free and rich, but part of me thinks, oh, maybe I should get a stable job, or maybe it's easier to get a stable job. Or part of me thinks, so money's great, abundance is great, and part of me, because my parents or culture or religion or society or whatever, school, whatever, said something bad about money or rich people, part of me thinks that money's bad, or cancel, or we don't deserve it, or you don't deserve it. So the third big pillar is mindset, right? So it's looking at your business is number one pillar. Looking at taking back your time is number two pillar. And then number three is the big mindset here. It's a huge thing, a very important pillar in my system, which will basically guarantee success with people unless they give up, unless they actively sabotage. So those are the three big pillars. And there's, if we have time later, there's 5 shifts as well within them that you can also look at. And I can get into the 5 shifts that will make that happen. But for now, those are the 3 pillars. And let me know if you have any questions on those.
Yeah, I do. So going back to pillar number 2, taking back your time, what would you say to someone that says, okay, the job is too important and I don't know if my assistant can handle it. I need to do it myself, I need to be involved. I can't get them to do it even though it's taking, so many hours out of my week, and perhaps it's not the number one thing, the most important thing that's driving the business forward, but it's still important enough to where it's like, well, I need to do that. I need to be there and do that. What would you say?
So I've a good question. I have two responses. One, can it really not be done by anyone else? Can it really not be done by anyone else? Or is it a fear thing or an ego thing? I can guarantee you almost always it's one of those two, fear or ego. What if they screw it up? If they screw it up, then okay, work with them. Don't avoid abdicating. Okay, you're in charge of, then I made this mistake. Oh, yeah, if you're in charge of sales, you're in charge of this, and then never discuss it, checks and balances, lead them, manage them, stay in touch with them, talk daily if you need to make sure nothing goes wrong. You're not abdicating it to them and I don't want to hear about it or see it. No, that's the wrong way to do it, the wrong way to lead. Stay in definite touch, but have them do all the moving parts. Or maybe you design something and then they go execute it, they go create it. Maybe if it's something that's maybe not Not the most important, but really is still very, very important. Then again, you can have your hands maybe touch it a little bit, but then they go do all the time consuming work. You design, I don't know, a system or a plan, or let's say you're I don't know, a nutritionist. You can kind of create a framework. And of course, you will have trained your virtual assistant on this. You have all these SOPs, you have your frameworks, you have meal plans, all this stuff, all ready for them. So let's say you're working with a client and you want to create a meal plan for them. So you can roughly sketch out, okay, this is this, that's, they need they need a high fat diet and a high protein and low carb diet for this person or something like that. Okay, sure. If you need to do that, take some notes during the session, have a high level plan. This person needs low fat, this person needs high fat, this person needs low protein, or this person needs whatever. If they have kidney issues, maybe they have to avoid certain types of protein. Anyway, they could design that framework or high level and then go to the assistant, okay, pull all my resources for high protein people or low protein or low carb or whatever, pull them together and develop the plan with all that fiddly work and what they eat, what they don't eat. You can have the VA do that, for example. So that's one answer too, but usually it's ego and fear. Usually a great assistant, especially if you train them and show them how to do it, can do a lot of it. Now, if it's your core thing, like you consulting with people, sure, that probably does need to be and should be done by you too, versus having your VA consult with everyone. Now, I do have people, mind you, that have the virtual assistant do an intake. They do a full intake of the person, make sure the intake's done. They go over intake questions with the person before they come to the coach or practitioner or consultant. So yes, you can have the virtual assistant do a little bit of explainer. This is how it works. This is what it looks like to work with us. This will be the process, versus you sound like a broken record. Okay, we're going to look at your food and diet. And this is the metaphor, of course. It depends on what your business is. Or we're going to look at your business and we're going to look at this and that. But let me ask some questions. And so you can have someone doing a questionnaire. Now you can obviously do a questionnaire as well and have someone answer questions in a questionnaire too. But sometimes interactive with a person is better. It's more maybe it feels a little warmer. So you can have someone do it. I've done it before. I was pre-interviewed for a podcast by someone's VA, and then I got on the podcast, which can help segregate or delineate people you don't want on your podcast or you don't want in your business or people you don't want to consult with as well. Or the virtual assistant or a salesperson or a setter can do the initial appointments. Instead of you doing all the initial appointments, giving up hours of your time a day for free, have your VA pay them $5 or $10 an hour, or your setter or your pre-sales person pay them a commission if it closes or whatever, and then you do the actual session, for example. Especially if they're good at setting or good at closing or good at selling, better than you probably. That way you don't have to do that and you get to do what you love all day long. Now these are just examples of metaphors. Now once in a while, sure, maybe there is something that's not super, super important. It better be fairly important. Otherwise, again, don't do it at all. Something fairly important that you have to do yourself, sure. Sometimes that is the case. It can only be done by you. Or maybe when AI gets there, you can teach it enough to AI that can do it half, mostly, fully, and then you can go and audit it. Or just have your virtual assistant do it and start it. And again, you can audit it. And that's the great thing about VAs or AI, is that it can get started. Even a lot of people developing software. AI is definitely not perfect yet. A lot of the code doesn't work or isn't perfect. However, a lot of software development firms have AI first, get AI to build the code first. Just like a lot of my blog posts, hey, I want to do a blog on this, get me some research on this, do that. I have it start some of my articles first, and then I obviously finish it off. But I have AI start a lot of things first. That way I'm not starting from zero, and it saves a ton of time. Because I can go in and I can tweak it. I can ask AI as well for suggestions for go find me this research, go find some statistics, go find this and that. And then I'm not searching for statistics forever. I think I've beaten this to beat like this like a dead horse. But again, sure. But I think you can always combine or almost always combine it with some other resource, whether it's an AI, VA, or a system or something to help you. So you're not doing it all yourself and all manually. Because sometimes, yes, there will be something sometimes that you have to do yourself. And especially things that are in your genius zone. Yes, that is what you get paid for. That is why people buy from you. Not that you can't have help, e.g. a VA in taking people or a setter or a salesperson doing intake or pre-sales or pre-call, pre-screening. But yes, so it's either ego or fear, and you can have help.
Ego and fear. So it sounds like if you're experiencing that, it's ego, fear, and you need to lessen the fear by learning what's possible by software or AI tools, or hone your teaching skill to pass your ability to accomplish this task onto someone else so they
Yeah.
could perform at the level that you were performing at. Is really, you need to develop that ability to explain it and explain your expectations and explain the process and document and everything like that.
You're welcome. And AI can make that so easy these days. For example, I did a demo yesterday. I was teaching a class and I said, let me demo something cool. And I demoed it and I had, the thing being recorded. I put it in ChatGPT. I said, take this recording, and instead of just giving me a transcript, I want you to give me a how-to training guide for my students. So it's easy to teach people, easy than ever. You can just run a video, record a video, Zoom video, whatever, of you doing something, shares you, this is how to do it, and AI can literally develop an SOP for your people, assistant or whatever, to do it, or you teach AI to do it. Say, okay, I want you to be able to remember this, and any task around this I give you, this is what you do, this is how to do it. And you can, of course, teach AI or teach an assistant how to do it better. But it's so easy. Now just record yourself doing it, record yourself talking about it while you do it. And it'll literally give you a script or a how-to guide using AI in a few minutes. It's very, very easy to do. So yeah, and almost anything can be done by not you. Because it can be done for less, and you can be doing something you love, doing something more productive. You can be resting, relaxing, traveling, hanging out with friends and family, you name it, for 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 15 bucks an hour. I'd rather that than me slugging away here all night. And plus, I'm not going to be, if I do it all myself, I'm not going to be productive the next day. I'm not going to be as creative or efficient because my brain will not be optimal, which bust this and burst this, work harder than anyone else. No, and it's not even work smarter than anyone else. Work better, and I guess smarter, better and smarter, dare I say, than anyone else. And then you'll win. Because you can work hard all your life and not really get a lot done, or get all the little things done and be overwhelmed and not creative and burnt out and not sleep and will not get where you were on. That breaks my heart because I really want people to win and succeed.
Makes sense. Thanks for sharing. So
You're welcome.
when you work with clients, what kind of self-limiting beliefs do you come across most frequently?
Good question. In fact, I'll tie it back to the whole assistant or VA thing or AI thing. It's like, oh, I can't afford it, or oh, I don't have enough time yet, or I don't have enough stuff for them to do. And I said all this, so there's no judgment. This is how I know it's out there and incipient. People say this. It'll come out of their mouths. Oh, I can't afford it. Trust me, you can't afford not to do it. If you're doing silly little things in your business and maybe not doing as much marketing or sales or talking to people or doing stuff like this, giving value, promoting yourself. If you're not doing enough of this because you don't have the time to do it, because you're doing silly little things in your business, you can't afford not to, especially for 3, 4, 5, 10, 8, 7, 10, 12, 15 bucks an hour. You literally can't afford not to. So that is one of the biggest beliefs. I can't afford it, or I don't have enough work for them to do. Trust me. We'll do an audit in you and your business. I will promise you, or I'll give you a free coaching session. I will find at least enough to do to keep a virtual assistant busy at least a quarter hours. I'll promise you I'll find that. And if not, we'll create things for them to do, which will help your business grow too. If you're not doing certain things, which you should do because you don't have the time or the energy or don't know the know-how, we'll get them to do it, which will help your business grow anyways. So that's a big one as well. I'm not ready yet is also a big one, or I have to wait until blank. The human brain is not designed to thrive. It's not designed for success. It's designed to survive. And our amygdala back here, in our lizard brain, is a heck of a lot more developed than our prefrontal cortex that says, okay, I'm not going to die if I do this presentation and it doesn't work, or people laugh, or I screw up, or I'm not going to die by talking to this person or asking them for my business or saying, hey, do you want to buy? However, the amygdala is way more developed than your prefrontal cortex, so it usually wins. So the fear of looking bad, fear of looking good, fear of failure, maybe fear of success, or fear of what something mean about you, that usually wins. We have to be really, really careful of those ones. And if we have these limiting beliefs, they will always win, almost always win. But if we, otherwise it's exhausting. To push through, consciously to push against this giant rock or giant elephant, just to get the elephant to go that way, and you're this teeny little rider that wants to go this way, it's exhausting. So that's some of them. Not the right time. A lot of people don't feel worth it, don't feel good enough, don't feel worthy as well. And it's a big, big, deep one. They may not going around saying that, but it's a big, big, deep one. And that's, again, why they hesitate. They procrastinate, they don't take action, or they have 10, 15, 20 things half complete or 90% complete that are useless because they're not out to the world. They're just busy because they're afraid of it not being. These with love I say this, but these are the people who have been fiddling with their website, working with their website for months or years, and it's not live yet, and it's gaining no SEO. You can guarantee no one is going to find it. Google's not indexing it. Nothing is happening. People by chance will never ever find it if it's not live because people are fiddling and twiddling with their website. And it does not have to be perfect. A website, I've seen some really, really boring or crappy looking, or like they've been designed by a third grader Websites convert very well, work very, very well. I've seen people spend thousands and thousands on websites that convert not at all, don't rank at all. Google doesn't know where they are. So things like that, it's not perfect yet, it's not ready yet, are these big limiting beliefs. And often it's a protection strategy we have because we're afraid of not being good enough and afraid of putting it out there. And that's living proof that someone's not good enough, or they're not worthy, or not smart enough, or not whatever enough. So it's with love I say that, because been there, done that, I had that, absolutely. And this is why I know, because I've had that. So those are some of the big limiting beliefs and core wounds, I think. Or the last one, it wouldn't work for me. It won't work for me, or it wouldn't work for me, even though you see it working for many people. It's a lot of people's fears. Yeah, and I think we have to address that on sales calls and on initial calls, because some people have loved what I do. They've loved me. James, your energy is great. I love how you want to help people. You're fun to work with. Your course sounds like it's got everything I need. But I'm like, but what? And again, it's usually a fear that it won't work for them. Again, if you go down and drill down, it's probably because they feel they're not good enough, or not worth it, or it won't work, or they don't deserve it even too. That's a big one also, actually. That's I'll end there. But not deserving. They don't deserve it. For whatever reason, whether they did something bad, or did something silly, or did something, or they hurt someone accidentally or intentionally in the past, and they feel like they don't deserve, love or success or wealth or whatever it is. So there's a big deserving, or the parents or culture or society, religion program them thinking they don't deserve it as well. So those are some of the big ones there.
Sure. And how do you help people overcome the self-limiting beliefs?
We've got a treasure trove of really cool and really powerful neuroscience-based techniques, cutting-edge techniques, some stuff that works super well, some stuff even that's a little on the wacky side, and it works very well to just remove them and delete them, get them past fears or failures or trauma, and get them past the verbal BS they're giving on why they can't or can't yet, why they're not yet, right? Versus just taking action and realizing, okay, something's not working. Let me figure it out. Versus blaming everything. It's the ads people, or it's Google, or it's the economy, or it's the stupid customers, or it's whatever. Take a look inside and figure out, what am I doing or not doing that's making this work or not work? So some really powerful techniques that can really quickly nuke these limiting beliefs that have been really with them since probably childhood as well, limiting them since childhood. So it's really fun and really rewarding to see people just, their faces change, their bodies change, or they light up when you delete it, because it's no longer holding them back.
Change in perspective, and that results in change in behavior, and then a person just takes off.
You got it, brother. Yeah, it's amazing to see, because I want people out there helping people. I want people to make a difference in the world. That's how I can make a massive difference, by helping people that want to make a difference, versus people running around that are afraid or fearing, or what will people think, or what will people look at me, or what will people judge me, or what if I fail? What if I fail publicly? What would people think? Who cares? And you got to really get good at stopping caring, stopping worrying what people think about you. Because there'll always be haters. And I can promise you, if you aim to do something big in the world, aim to do something good in the world, you'll definitely have haters. You already do. People already chirp us and, oh, James is so this, or he's not this and that. People are going to chirp us and hate on us anyways. I'm sure there's lots of people out there that say different things about me, good and bad. So if we're going to have people chirp us anyways and pick on our posts or hate on us online or talk behind our back, it's going to happen. It's going to happen, right? It's inevitable. You might as well be doing what you love, making a difference while they do that, versus, hiding in a cave with your ears closed and your eyes shut, because you don't want to hear the haters or hear what they say about you. They're doing it anyways. So why don't you have them do it about something when you're making a difference? You're doing something awesome.
Hate always comes from below, is what I've heard. So
tell us more talk about more. You're absolutely right. Talk more about that. You're absolutely right.
So what are some of the biggest challenges you've come across with clients when you're trying to work with them, trying to change their mindset, trying to get rid of the self-limiting beliefs? Like, have you ever came across someone where it's like, okay, this is hard. This is harder than it's been with other people, for example. Have you come across challenges like that? Can you speak to those?
Absolutely. And again, often it's the upbringing, often it's experiences, failures, again, the self-limiting beliefs. It's often their environment, including people they hang out with. To your point earlier, hate comes from below. Hate or haters, people that chirp you or say stuff about you or try to bring you down, or try to dissuade you. Oh, it's too hard. It'll take too long. It'll cost too much. You lose all your money. These people, you get to a point, the hate comes from below. Usually these people are not doing what you're doing. They're not making a difference. They're not they don't have the confidence or the will or the drive or the grit you do to go do it. You are going and doing it, the passion they don't have the passion you have. They wish they wanted to go do it. They wanted to do it. And most people's hell on earth is seeing you achieve something that they want and they didn't go for it. Just like, your hell on earth is really seeing other people achieve something big that we really, really wanted, but we didn't go for whatever reason. So yes, hate usually comes from below. People that aren't doing what you're doing, aren't taking action. They're sitting on their couch or behind their computer, trolling people, sitting there because they have nothing better to do. They're not out there making a big difference. So you really care if someone in their pajamas and they're in their basement is, chirping you online when they're doing nothing important and nothing impactful, and they're not going after their dreams and hopes and dreams and making a big impact and learning and growing and investing in themselves, facing their fear, hard as hell, do it anyway, scary as hell, do it anyway. Do you really care that those people hate on you? I've never ever seen, take that back, rarely do I ever see people that are in a great place in life picking on or hating on or putting down someone that's doing their best. Even if they're struggling, if someone's doing their best, busting their butt, working hard, even if doing it wrong or making mistakes. I've rarely ever seen people that are at a high level, rarely say anything bad about someone that is trying their best, giving their best, working hard, figuring it out, investing in themselves, investing in their business. I'm not sure if I answered your question there completely. Feel free to ask me again, but I don't know if I answered it fully there.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious about some of the challenges that you've had with clients that for some reason they were, for lack of a better word, a brick wall. And when you were trying to move them into a direction, you came across a challenge.
Well, I found, that this one person, she wanted to want it. This was years and years ago. She wanted to want it. And she said she wanted it, but I don't think she really wanted it because she lit any excuse. And she started working with me. And she made any excuse to stop, to quit, to stop and start, and then finally totally quit and give up. She used any excuse to do that. And I think she wanted to want it. I don't think she truly wanted it. If someone's not truly committed, and because people say, "Oh, I'm totally committed," and I call bullshit because a lot of people are not. Are you willing to do anything? And ask yourself this question, everyone. Legally, of course, legal, moral, and ethical. Are you willing to do anything to have what it is you want? Create that dream business, have that dream life, have that dream person, that dream experience. Are you willing to do anything legal, moral, ethical? I've had to, do some things, legal, moral, ethical, but that make me feel like, holy crap, I can't believe I'm doing this. Oh, I'm going back to this again, or I feel like a broke student, or whatever. And sometimes it happens, and you got to make some sacrifices sometimes to grow. Sometimes you got to do some scary stuff sometimes as well, and it usually pays off. The scary stuff usually pays off because I think it's a test, all right, by your subconscious mind. Again, the brain wants to survive. It doesn't want to thrive or succeed. It wants to survive. So there's that too. If you want to want it and you aren't truly committed, because everyone's like, "Oh, I'm totally committed." Cool. Willing to do anything legal, moral, ethical? Yes. You willing to invest what it costs? Well, if it's cheap or if it's free, no, you're not committed. And again, there is a lot of people that are committed, and that's who I love working with, right? Because they're gonna make stuff happen. It's gonna work. They'll get it done. The other thing too is ego. If someone's not coachable, the ego, they want the help, or they think they need the help, or someone told them they need the help, but the ego is just, "Oh, I have very strong opinions, James," or "No, I'm not going to budge on that," or "No, I disagree, James," or "No, I don't think it's this part of my business." I'm like, trust me, that's what's killing you, or killing you. "No, I don't think so, James," or "Thanks, James, I'll take him." "Okay, thank you," and I'm like, they're not going to do it. And you can tell when you're talking to someone and they're not taking, it's just bouncing off. They're like, "Yeah, thank you, great idea, great opinion, great whatever." And they're not going to do it. So ego, as the saying, ego goeth before the fall, or ego goes before the fall. Because where there's ego, there's no growth, there's no learning. There's not even room for relationships, friendship, clientship, intimate, or other. There's no room for ego in relationships. Yes, boundaries, yes, standards, but the ego, you got to be really careful with. There's too much ego. I think you'll find your customers will eventually go away if they come at all. So those are the two things. So yes, those can be big frustrations and blocks. And I used to break my heart because I want everyone to succeed and be happy. It used to break my heart. And I used to almost take responsibility for people and results or lack of results or whatever they were doing or not doing. And it almost broke me, in fact, because it broke my heart to see them fail. It almost broke me to basically ensure they succeeded. And of course I do everything possible to ensure someone succeeds. But if they're fighting me, if they're dragging their heels, if they have a boat and they throw out the anchor, like, okay, James, tow me back to shore, tow me out to sea, or tow me to freedom. I'm like, you have the anchor out in the water. That's going to slow us down and make it impossible. Before, I used to do everything I could, include it was killing me, to help them and make them succeed. But no, now if you have the anchor in the water and you want some help being pulled to the direction of freedom, no. You drop the anchor and we'll talk. But none of this. If the ego is there and if you're actively fighting me, it's not going to work. And I think that's something I think everyone needs to really know and be very careful about is taking responsibility for your client's success or not. Yes, take responsibility for helping them, for doing your best to make sure they win and going above and beyond, yes, to make sure they win. And even if they don't, it doesn't mean anything about you. You don't have to kill yourself to make sure your client wins. You're not responsible for their success or not, or them taking action or digging in their heels or throwing the anchor out. You're not responsible for that. You can help them, coach them through it. But if they will not pull that anchor back in, if they will not move, not walk, not take one step in the direction you want, please be very gentle on yourself as well. And also call people on their BS. I mean, why would they hire us if we're not talking to them any differently than just their friends would? Oh, yeah, it's okay. It's hard. Life's tough. It's the economy, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, yeah, take a rest. No, stop screwing up your business. Like, take these actions we discussed and you'll win. Do you want to win or not? Are you willing to do this or not? Like I said, it breaks my heart. And I'm sure it breaks the heart of a lot of people too, to work with people who are either ego, they won't learn, they won't take action, they're not committed, they say they want it, but do they really? Or they're not willing to be uncomfortable. A lot of people are not willing to be uncomfortable. And you got to be. Comfort and growth are not friends. They don't hang out together. If you want to grow, you need to go through some discomfort. And that's where you learn anyways. Oh my God, the amount of discomfort in my life has been quite large. The amount of growth in my life has been massive, massive, massive. So, and I've learned, it's like building a muscle at the gym. I've learned, and that's why I can often override my fear. I'm not perfect, but I can often override my fear because the fact that it's like working out the muscle. Okay, my body knows go through the fear, we're likely going to win or have some cool stuff happen. So anyway, I think people need to be careful and have boundaries with clients and say, you know what, I think I need to fire you because you're not compliant, you're not doing this, you're not doing what I tell you, you come back and complain and this is not working or this is not that, you're not happy. Are you willing to do this or not? And just having tough talk with people and tough love, which a lot of people are not willing to have. And I know I'm going off a bit of a tangent here, but it's having those conversations, those tough love, tough conversations with clients, because if you do, they'll likely be successful and they'll likely keep working with you. Or they'll run like hell. And you don't want them anyways. You don't want them, if you can't be honest with someone and say, look, I think here's where you're failing, here's where you're buying your own BS, here's where you're lying to yourself, and here's where you're getting stuck. And I really would like to see you successful. If they run away from that and you say it in a nice, kind, caring way to avoid being a jerk, they're not the right customer for you, they're not ready. Contrary to that, I've had people stay and say, James, you'll talk to me like no one else will. You'll give me feedback like no one else will. Again, nicely, kindly, compassionately. But like the way you talk to me and how you can call me in my bullshit or help me see my blind spots, no one else does that. And so people will stay with you. People will pay you more. They'll rave about you. They'll refer you. They'll even become friends perhaps, which is really cool.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. It sounds like, again, ego and fear are the two culprits that have pervaded today's conversation. So thanks, James, for coming on and sharing your wisdom.
Absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. And I'll leave with one more thing. I think it's so important to make sure that people have alignment with their vision. Make sure your business is aligned with your vision of what you genuinely really want. Not what parents think you should do or tell you should do. Not what culture or society or religion or whatever says, this is good, this is bad, this is successful, this is not, right? Because the sad fact is most entrepreneurs are so busy climbing a mountain, if you will, or working or whatever metaphor you want to use. They never check to see if they're on the right mountain. They never check to see if they're climbing the right mountain. So make darn sure you're not lying to yourself as well or taking someone else's advice or programming since birth, whether it's, again, family, society, whatever, teachers, about what you should do, and be very careful of the shoulds, what you should do and what you shouldn't do. I would actually never do anything you should do and never not do anything you shouldn't do because usually it's a lie. So make sure your business is aligned. Otherwise, you're going to drag your heels. It won't work energetically. People won't respond to you. Make sure your business is aligned, your head and heart aligned. There's a saying I love. The longest journey you will ever take is a journey from your head to your heart. getting out of our head. And what does my heart sing for? What does my heart want? How do I want to live and work in the world? Who do I want to be? Is it the loudest, proudest, craziest, strangest, pinkest, purplish person, whatever it is? Or are you going to be mediocre, and are you going to sell out or dumb down every amazing gift and thing that was given to you and just be normal, so people don't chirp you, or so other people feel good or feel comfortable around you, or are not intimidated by you, so you don't make them feel bad because you're freaking awesome and you're going for it? Are you going to sell out? Make sure you're aligned with your vision. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And that's probably why things aren't working in your life. So if you want some help realigning your vision and really seeing what you really want, if you're feeling not fulfilled or not loving what you do anymore, I think it's time to realign the vision. So I'll leave you there. I'll leave it there.
Yeah. Becoming authentic to yourself, with yourself, and aligning everything in your life is great wisdom. So thanks again, James, for joining the show.
You got it, brother. Can I leave your folks with a free gift out of curiosity?
Absolutely. Please do.
Perfect. So if they go to www.limitlessh-entrepreneur.com/grow, GROW, then growth rather, they will get access to my training, basically the five shifts I was talking about within those 3 pillars. They'll learn about the 3 pillars, they'll learn about the 5 shifts and how they can make themselves, how they can start taking some action themselves as well. So I invite them, limitless-entrepreneur.com/growth. That's my free gift. It's a 17-18 minute video training. I think you'll find changes your life and your whole business as well.
Absolutely. And we'll put that down under the video where someone can find it.